Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and welcome to Fridays with Maniac4Bricks. As you guys know, I love me some LEGO shopping. I do it almost twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week when it comes to LEGO haul videos. And even though a lot of my hauls lately have been just through eBay, there are still plenty of other stores that I check out on occasion to find LEGO stuff. And not always on deals, but just to find stuff that I've been looking for may be available in one place versus another. And surprisingly, I don't always do the LEGO deals or certain LEGO outlets that other AFOLs have done and regularly do. And it's not because of the deals necessarily, it's one or two other factors that go along with those. So for today, I'd like to talk about the LEGO stores that I shop at and finding all different kinds of LEGO stuff. First one I want to mention is Toys R Us, and not just because it's closing recently, or the fact that I've been doing a series of going to each Toys R Us trying to find stuff, and I will be updating those relatively soon as far as the progress goes. And also a retrospective will be coming up about Toys R Us in general, not just for LEGO, but also for other toys and just my overall experience and nostalgia with it. But Toys R Us has always been a really good place to find LEGO. Even though a lot of times it's 20% more than the retail price, it is something that's well stocked, it's well inventoried, and has a large selection of LEGO products. They usually have a couple exclusives to go along with it, so it makes it feel like you're as close to a LEGO shop at home or a LEGO brand store as you can, but a little more frequent, Toys R Us has been a lot more available than those other stores. When it comes to other outlets, it's, like I said, a larger place for it. It's something that specializes in toys, as opposed to a Target or a Walmart or something where you're only going to have maybe 1 to 2 shelves or 1 to 2 aisles that are about building brands. Not even just LEGO, but building brands. Because they're going to specialize in a whole bunch of other stuff too. They have, clothes, they have food, they have furniture, they have lighting, all different kinds of stuff at a Target or Walmart. I still like going to Target, don't get me wrong, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But when it comes to Toys R Us, I rarely go there without finding something. I usually find something that I'm looking for at a Toys R Us versus another retailer. And I usually try to pay close to retail price for any of those items. Occasionally I'll knock it down with coupons or the Rewards R Us program or something like that. And I've even found a couple things that were way less than retail price through there. Some of you might remember a while ago that I did a haul video from one of the Toys R Us stores near me, where I found the Research Institute set. I found 3 copies of this in a store, which was a little while after its circulation in LEGO brand stores and other retailers, for 98 cents per box. That's incredible. And I wouldn't have realized that if I didn't see that they were right on the shelf, surprisingly. I was like, okay, let me try to scan this and see what it's like. If it's still the $20, I could still go for that. But when I saw it was 98 cents, put it in the bag, put it in the shopping cart, and bring it to the register. I found a whole bunch of stuff through that kind of system with Toys R Us. If you find something that's there 1.5 to 2 years longer than the shelf life of it, then it's pretty good to get a deal on it. I've had a whole bunch of stuff there that I've bought for 3 cents. 3 pennies. Sometimes they even just give it to me because it's so low, it's like, here it is. Usually they mark stuff like that because it's supposed to be in a donation bin. But if it hasn't already been collected for that or, gone through by the staff there, and you just find it there as a consumer, they'll let you have it. Or they'll let you just pay the very small 2 pennies or 3 pennies for it. I don't really mind that, because it's still a really good deal. So I've had a really good luck with some things like that might be several years old and might be available there. So I've even had a few times where I was trying to look for something and almost no other store had it, but Toys R Us did. I paid $40 for the DeLorean at the Toys R Us I went to. Admittedly, that's not great because it was a $35 retail release. But this was shortly after it was discontinued from almost every other store and even online. And to find this in person was lucky as it was. 1 copy of it left in the Toys R Us. I said, yes, let's do this. It was worth it. And, if you try to find that nowadays, you're going to look at $100 minimum. Maybe even $120 depending on the condition of it. So I'd say that was worthwhile. Another thing I've always enjoyed about Toys R Us are the building events and some of the exclusives there. They've always had some regular exclusives, like the Bricktober ones, and which they have 4 different things to go out each year. And, you buy it, you get it free with purchase the week that it comes out, but if you wait a week or two, you get this down to like $20 to $15. So I usually wait for that sort of thing and get a whole bunch of these at once. So it saves me a bunch more money that way, but I still get the exclusives that I want to. And it's a little Toys R Us store. How can I turn that down? Toys R Us has always been a wonderful experience for me as a kid, and I've always been happy to go back there, even as an adult. Man-child, whatever you want to call it. But even for the building events, they've usually let me be a part of them, even as an adult, and I don't have a kid with me. But they still allow me to be a part of it, just to have my own copy of something. I'm not going to go there and say, oh, I have 1 or 2 kids in the car, and try to get multiples of them. No, they're barely, that doesn't happen. I'm going to be honest with that. And I'm happy enough with just taking my own 1 copy of something. Sometimes it's not always... Sometimes it's not always. Sometimes I don't get to take home something. It might just be there for a building experience. They just have like a whole bunch of bricks available. But it's still kind of cool for what things that they encourage in those building events. And they still get to meet with all different ages of people that are building with Lego. So you get to see different experiences of building. So I've had fun with that on its own. And the customer service has usually been good there. Most of the employees and managers that I've interacted with have been very well done. Like, they do everything just right to make sure it's a good experience. So, I really have no complaints with all of that in mind. I will talk more a little bit later as far as my retrospectives and things like that for Toys R Us, but stay tuned for more videos about that. The next place I would say is really good as far as everything goes is the Lego brand stores. They hire the employees very well. They have great customer service there every time I go there. It used to be a thing that I would go to on occasion as a kid. We would go as a family, like for a birthday or something, but it was still, pretty cool to go there. It was always something that was going to be new or cool to see different displays and those little windows or whatever. There was one, I gotta find somebody that has photos or some other reference to this, but I remember this distinctly. It was either Paramus Park Mall or the Garden State Plaza. I think it's Garden State Plaza because that one is still an existing Lego store. They used to have a building area right outside of the Lego store. A big ring that was around it, where they had a couple of brick-built models that were glued together, like an owl and other animals. They had a bunch of activities inside of there you could just play at any time. Not even need a Lego store employee to overlook them or institute them. But you could have like a little car you could build on a ramp and run it down with someone else. You have other bins that you could build a whole bunch of other stuff with. But I'm sure that they closed that down because that was probably like just, free bricks. I'm sure some people are just taking them by the handfuls. I never did, but I definitely had a fun time when that was there. But still, they still have a bunch of good Lego events that are available at the Lego brand stores, like different building events or just things for a one-day thing or just a small offer. There'll be like, oh, if you find all the Batman inside of the store, you get this small poly bag or something like that. Very simple, but still kind of fun to go through the store and see all the different stuff. Again, also very well stocked as far as any Lego set and any Lego theme that's currently available. I also do like going there for the pick-a-brick wall, so I can get a whole bunch of parts I need for MOCs. You guys might remember the Bionicle mask wall MOC that I made a while ago. A lot of that was from the pick-a-brick wall. For all the dark gray and black bricks that went into it, a lot of that came from just cups and cups full of those bricks. So, I have to thank the store for helping me with a pretty massive project that I'm sad that it never fully went all the way through. Maybe someday I'll come back to it. But it's still something that I've always had a good time going to the Lego store. Even though I go more regularly now, maybe once a month at this point, it's still something that I have a good time every time I go there. And it's always good to meet other Lego fans at the store too. Some of them as employees being Lego fans. Another store I really enjoyed, every so often I would go there, is Learning Express. And mostly because they have stuff that wasn't always in circulation. Like, again, with Toys R Us, they would have stuff that was maybe a few years older, not necessarily on clearance or discount or anything like that, but it was still good to see it there and sometimes try to pick it up. Unfortunately, though, it's not always the best place to go in terms of shopping for Lego. It's kind of like if you're going to go there for other stuff, maybe you could pick up Lego there. Because with them, that's the one I'm really concerned when it comes to overpricing Lego. They are almost always 20% more than retail price for any set. Even if it's a $10 set, you know, you're going to find it a lot more there than any other store. One thing I've enjoyed about it, I remember there being like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and Lone Ranger there. And those were like like a year or two after the theme was discontinued. But you can still get it there for close to retail price. Not, like I said, a little bit more than that, but it's still a little bit better than trying to find it in the black market. I've even went there a whole bunch of times for collectible minifigure packs. I did 1 or 2 minifigure building events there, or trading events. I was the only one, though. It's actually let me take one home for free. It's like, this guy's been waiting for trading minifigures. And I bought a whole bunch that were with me. And this was around, I think, series 12, maybe 13 or so. Somewhere in that range. Maybe 11. I don't remember exactly. But somewhere around then, I had a bunch of spares of minifigures I was going to trade with people. I was the only one there, but they let me take home a pack for free. They were really good service there. I've had good with the employees most of the time. There's one story I have to tell a little later on that I think people will be excited about. But I don't go to that Learning Express anymore. I don't really go to Learning Express that much in general. But yeah, for some time, it was pretty cool to go there. Now, as far as Target and Walmart and things like that go, I don't really go there that much when it comes to Lego. Target more than Walmart. And Walmart less than almost anything else. The thing is, with where I live, Walmart is a little bit further away from me as far as stores go compared to other stores I could buy Lego at. It's a little bit closer to me to buy it at Target or Toys R Us compared to a Walmart. So why not go there? Walmarts, as I've experienced more recently, have not really been good in quantity. They'd have a whole bunch of empty shelves here and there, and if I try to find something there, even if I do take the 40 to 50 minutes to trek out there to one, it's not available. So it's kind of a waste of my time to go out there and find that something is missing, you know? Or find a whole bunch of empty spots in between shelves. They don't always have large shelves when it comes to Walmart either. They're actually pretty narrow as far as the aisles themselves, but also it's not a big Lego selection because they only have 1 or 2 aisles that are dedicated to building brands. So if I was to find something in there, you know, it's pure luck pretty much. And people always rave about there being good deals and clearance items at Walmart. I've only seen that on occasion. And maybe it's because I come at the wrong time where people have already swooped through those deals. But for the times that I have been there, I haven't really seen it worth it to spend the money and justify buying a whole bunch of stuff at Walmart compared to other stores. Maybe it's better online. I don't know. I don't really shop through online stores that much unless you count eBay. Sometimes a Lego brand store online, like Shop at Home, but not much for other stores. It's usually just been eBay because it allows me to get a whole bunch of stuff that are not in circulation, are not, you know, current Lego products, or even recent Lego products. That's usually a place for me to find all the weird and obscure and retired Lego sets from years and years past. And sometimes I find them at pretty good deals. Once or twice I've gotten ripped off on them. But I've usually had a good experience with most of the sellers. I've shopped through more sellers on there than through Bricklink. And Bricklink I've still gone to every so often. Not as much right now because I'm not really sure what parts I have. But once I get my parts inventoried and organized, then I'll be more liable to use Bricklink for the parts I don't have and would like to get more of. I'd say the last time I bought something through Bricklink was shortly before Philly Brick Fest because I needed to get more Sigfig parts. But that's something that I know that I could go there and easily find an inventory of that sort of thing. When it comes to building certain mocks, I could find pieces all over the place, and sometimes I go in a tangent buying stuff through Bricklink. I need to be better organized as far as my collection goes, because sometimes I find that, oh, I already had that part. That's so much for buying that. So, yeah, sometimes things like that happen. Kmart is also a place that I've gone to when it comes to buying Lego. I've purchased a whole bunch of stuff through there in the past that's usually on clearance. I've even seen they have like a whole section that's just clearance items, and sometimes those prices are lower than what they're saying that they are. Like, oh, take 40% off of the sticker price or whatever. Yeah, the sticker price is already a discount, but then it gets lower than that. Sometimes they could just scan it, just like at Toys R Us, and you could see the prices drop from there. Admittedly, that's another retailer that's going out of business. It's just a little bit slower than Toys R Us right now, but it's still something that I like to go to every so often. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that it has an older style to it, because, you know, some people would think, oh, it's not really, it's kind of old-fashioned, or you really need some updating for how it looks in there. Like, it feels old, and it's, like, kind of awkward to walk through there. But for me, I think it's like a hit or miss. It sometimes feels good, sometimes a little bit awkward. But usually been okay through there. Didn't really add anything bad for customer service or anything like that. Now, as far as Amazon, that's another place that most people like to shop for Lego and usually find some good deals through there. It's not that I don't want to shop through Amazon, I'm just not familiar with shopping through Amazon. I've gone there only a handful of times in the past. I remember when I was younger, I got a birthday gift card for Amazon because somebody that I knew liked shopping through Amazon. So it was new for me to even try online shopping at that point, and I remember getting only a couple of sets through there. But since then, it's not really something that I've really considered. It's something that's like, I always enjoy going to a brick and mortar store a little bit more than an online store. And if I know that the same product is going to be available in person than online, I usually think in my head, I won't have to pay for shipping if I buy this in person. Even though I may not find it at the lower price, it may kind of justify it, you know what I mean? To already be there, get it in person, support a store, and bring it home the same day. As opposed to buying it online, a little bit less, but then you pay shipping, and then you wait a couple days to almost a week, and then it arrives. So, there's that. Take it as you will. I know other people would say otherwise as far as shopping through Amazon or other sites online. And I do it on occasion, outside of eBay. But it's still something that I still try to look through different stores to see different things, and, you know, whatever I need to look for, maybe one store is better at it than another one is. Let me know in the comments below, where do you like to shop for Lego? And if you have any tips, feel free to leave those as well. I'm sure I could probably get into Amazon shopping at some point eventually, once I get more things organized with the Lego Room. And Bricklink as well. I'll be happy to go back into there and support other Lego YouTubers and Lego fans with their Bricklink stores. We'll see you next time with more Lego videos, and have a great weekend. And look forward to a new Toys R Us video coming relatively soon. Still editing that as we speak.